Hello all, I'm Clovia. I'm a 25-year-old woman. I love to be happy in life. I always keep a positive attitude no matter what. I love to indulge in the beauty of nature. All my friends call me Flower Girl. I've done a scientific course on flowers. It was so much fun. I'm married to Anthony. He's a 28-year-old man with a strong and confident presence. He has piercing green eyes that convey a sense of depth and sincerity. Anthony is a musician and he is passionate about playing the guitar and composing heartfelt melodies. I and Anthony had been introduced to each other by a mutual friend at a cozy party. After dinner, Anthony and I sat across from each other at a small, intimate table. There was no one else, so I started talking to him. Hi, Anthony. It's lovely to meet you. Hello, Clovia. I've heard wonderful things about your talent with flowers. Oh, thank you. I find a lot of inspiration in nature's beauty. Speaking of which, do you have a favorite song that inspires you? Well, there is this one song I wrote recently. It's about finding magic in ordinary moments, much like our meeting tonight. That sounds incredibly romantic. I would love to hear it someday. I would be honored to play it for you sometime, but for now, let us savor this moment. You know, I cannot help but notice that your eyes are as captivating as a starlit night. You have a way with words, Anthony. Your eyes, too, are like a deep, serene forest I would love to explore. We shared a tender gaze. I blushed looking at him. I was feeling butterflies in my stomach, and that feeling was not at all normal. Clovia, I feel a connection, a kind of chemistry I've never felt before. It's like the universe wanted to bring us together tonight. Anthony, I feel it too. Maybe the universe does have a plan for us. Our hands brushed against each other on the table, and we both felt a gentle electric charge. Clovia, can I see you again, perhaps for a walk under the moonlight? I would love that, Anthony. A moonlit walk sounds perfect. As we continued to talk, our hearts beat in sync, and it became clear that our meeting was the beginning of a beautiful love story. Our conversation was filled with compliments and genuine interest in each other, setting the stage for a blossoming romance. Our attraction towards each other was clear in the first meeting, but we wanted to understand each other more. Our likes, dislikes, family, friends, everything. One day, Anthony called me for his show. I cannot believe I get to see you perform tonight, Anthony. I have heard so much about your music and I'm looking forward to it. I'm thrilled that you are here, Clovia. You know, every time I play, I feel like I'm sharing a piece of my soul with the world, and having you in the audience makes it even more special. The lights dimmed and Anthony took the stage, his guitar in hand. He began to play a heartfelt melody, pouring his emotions into the music. I was captivated by his performance, my eyes fixed on him. He was amazing. Anthony's performance came to an end and the audience erupted in applause. He returned to the table, a warm smile on his face. Anthony, that was incredible. Your music truly speaks to the soul. I can see why you were so passionate about it. Thank you, Clovia. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It has always been my way of expressing what words cannot. But enough about me and my music. I want to know more about you, Clovia. Tell me about your family, your friends, your dreams. Well, I come from a close-knit family. My parents own a small flower shop, and I have always been inspired by the beauty of nature. My friends say I'm a bit of a free spirit, always up for an adventure. And my dream? I hope to open my art therapy studio one day, a place where people can find healing through creativity. That is a beautiful dream, Clovia. Your passion for art and helping others is truly inspiring, and your family's flower shop must be a magical place. It is. Flowers have a way of bringing happiness into people's lives, just like your music does. Clovia, I want to be honest with you. I genuinely like you. It might sound a bit early, but I want to introduce you to my family if you are comfortable. Anthony, I feel the same way, and I would be happy to meet your family. As our conversation deepened, we continued to share stories, dreams, and our deepest thoughts, forging a bond that goes beyond mere attraction. Anthony had invited me to his family home to meet his mother, Mary, for the first time. Mary stared at me from head to toe. I was quite nervous. As we sat in the cozy living room, the conversation took an unexpected turn. "Hello, Mary. It's a pleasure to meet you." "Pleasure, huh? Well, let us see if that's true. Mom, this is Clovia, my girlfriend I told you about. So, Anthony, this is the first time you've brought a girl home. What is so special about Clovia that you decided to introduce her to your mother?" "Well, Mom, Clovia is an extraordinary person. She's kind, compassionate, and incredibly talented. She's also the one who understands me like no one else ever has." "So, Clovia, what do your parents do?" "My parents own a flower shop. They have been florists for as long as I can remember." "A flower shop? How quaint. Anthony, dear, you've always been such an achiever. You deserve someone from a more prestigious background." "Mom, I love Clovia for who she is, not for her family's profession. What they do does not define her worth." "Anthony, I appreciate your support, but Mary, I do not think being a florist is a bad business. Flowers bring happiness to our lives." "You speak too much. Just be polite or my son will leave you." "Mom, please, this is very rude to say." "Well, Anthony, you've always been one to follow your heart, but just remember, relationships can be challenging when there are such vast differences." "Mom, love is not about backgrounds or professions. It's about how two people feel about each other. Clovia makes me happy, and that is what matters most." "I feel the same way, Anthony. Your love means the world to me." "Well, I suppose time will tell, Clovia. I hope you understand that as a mother, I only want what is best for my son." "I understand, Mary. I also want what is best for Anthony, and I promise to always care for him." "That is all I need to know, Mom." After the uncomfortable meeting with Anthony's mother, Mary, Anthony and I found a quiet moment to talk and reflect on the situation. "Clovia, I want to apologize for my mother's behavior today. That was not how I had hoped our meeting would go." "Anthony, you do not need to apologize for your mother. I understand that families can be complicated, and meeting someone new can be overwhelming for them." "Thank you for being so understanding. I just wish things had been smoother." "Anthony, it is important to remember that our relationship is about us, not anyone else. Your love and support mean the world to me, and I believe we can navigate any challenges together." "You are right, Clovia. I love you, and I do not want anything to come between us." "I love you too, Anthony. We can handle whatever comes our way as long as we are together." We shared a moment of understanding and unity, knowing that our love is strong enough to overcome any obstacles. Mary was very rude to me, but what truly mattered to me was Anthony. He stood by my side like a rock, and I was reassured that he would never leave me. I knew that dealing with Mary might be challenging, but I was determined to make everything work for the sake of our love. One day, surprisingly, I received a call from Mary. I was hesitant to pick up the call at first, but then I realized that I have to deal with her for my whole life. And it is better to have a real conversation, so I picked up the call. "Hello, Mary?" "Clovia, I need to talk to you. Anthony and I had a big argument because of you. He's never stood up to me like that before." "I'm sorry to hear that, Mary. I never wanted to come between you and Anthony." "He has made his choice, and I can't change that. He chose you. I have decided to agree to this marriage, but I want you to understand something, Clovia." "What is it, Mary?" "I believe my son deserves better, but he has made his decision, and I will respect it. However, if you ever do anything to hurt him or make him unhappy, I will not hesitate to tell him to divorce you." "Mary, I love Anthony deeply, and I would never do anything to hurt him. I want nothing more than to make him happy." "Well, time will tell. Just remember, I will always be watching and I will not stand by if my son's happiness is at stake. I understand your concern, Mary. I hope in time you will see that my intentions are pure and that I truly care for Anthony. We will see, Clovia. Anthony means the world to me and I will not let anything or anyone harm him. Our conversation ended on a tense note. Mary expressed her concerns about our future even without giving me a chance. I do not know why she was so firm on the word divorce, but she sounded very unhappy with Anthony's decision. We went ahead with our marriage decision, and though I knew it was hard to please Mary, I decided to become stronger for my love. It was our wedding day, and when Mary arrived at the venue, she started looking at everything. I was worried she might not like it because I preferred a simple wedding and my parents had done all the decorations, but Mary did not seem happy with them. She looked around with a disapproving frown. Clovia, I must say the wedding decor is rather simple. I expected something a bit more grand, considering Anthony is my son. Mary, my parents have a small flower shop and they did their best with the decorations. They might not be as extravagant as you're used to. Well, I suppose I should have expected this given your family's background. Anthony deserves a grand wedding and this seems rather underwhelming. I do not know why he's marrying you. Anthony heard us both talking and he noticed my sad expressions and figured out that there must be something unusual going on. He came to support me. Mom, our wedding is not about grandeur or extravagance. It is about our love and commitment to each other. Clovia's family has poured their hearts into this, and this is what matters most to us. Anthony's right, Mary. We may not have a lavish setup, but our love is genuine, and that is what makes this day special for us. I suppose I got carried away with expectations. I just want the best for my son. I know you do, Mom, but the best for me is Clovia. She is the love of my life, and I could not be happier. We are here to celebrate our love and commitment today, Mary. Let us focus on that and cherish the moment. As we both teamed up against Mary, she could not say anything further and just left the place to attend to her guests. After the reception, we both were sitting embracing all the beautiful moments. Clovia, I've been planning something special for us, and today is the day I get to share it with you. Really? Anthony? What is the surprise? Close your eyes and trust me, okay? All right, but you better not be leading me into the kitchen for another one of your famous breakfast experiments. I closed my eyes. My heart was racing with anticipation. Okay, open your eyes now. I opened my eyes to see a beautifully wrapped box with a ribbon, a travel brochure peeking out from underneath. A gift for me? Just a token of my love for my wife. I carefully untied the ribbon and opened the box to find a sparkling pair of earrings. Anthony, they're stunning! But you did not have to. Wait, there's more. Look under the earrings. I found a card beneath the earrings, and as I opened it, my eyes widened with astonishment. 2 plane tickets to Santorini? Anthony, it is my dream destination. I remembered how you have always wanted to go there, and I thought, why wait? Let us make your dream come true, Clovia. I cannot believe you did this, Anthony. This is the most incredible surprise ever. I just want to see you happy. And I want to create beautiful memories together. You have already made me the happiest person in the world, Anthony. I cannot wait for our Santorini adventure together. I love you more than anything, Clovia. This is just the beginning of our incredible journey. Anthony and I shared a heartfelt moment, overwhelmed with love and excitement about our upcoming honeymoon in Santorini. Are you sleepy? No. I want to talk to you for hours. Do you want a coffee? Sure. I went to get coffee for both of us, but suddenly someone grabbed my hand and pulled me into a corner. When I looked at the face, I was surprised to see that it was Mary. Hey, what is wrong? Why did you pull me like this? Clovia, we need to talk. I've been observing you, and I cannot ignore the fact that you seem to be enjoying all these expensive gifts from Anthony. Mary, I appreciate your concern, but I married Anthony because I love him, not for his money. Really? Because it is hard to believe when I see you asking for all these lavish presents from him. I do not want to see my son being used for his wealth. Mary, I never asked for any of these gifts. Anthony gave them to me out of love and affection. Our relationship is built on trust and love, not material things. Clovia, I heard that you asked for a trip. I have seen you make many mistakes. Do not be surprised if I suggest my son to divorce you. Mary, please, we just got married. Why are you stressing about divorce based on every small thing? I love Anthony more than anything, and I am committed to our marriage. I hope with time you will see that my intentions are sincere. I was really angry that day. I started to dislike the word divorce a lot. I wanted some time away from Mary. Luckily, Anthony and I were going on a trip. I thought about telling Anthony about the divorce, but I was afraid Mary might use it against me, so I did not say anything and decided to wait until Anthony found out. I went on a honeymoon to start our married life afresh, and we had a lot of fun. It was my dream destination, and being with the love of my life made it even better. I forgot all the problems and enjoyed every moment of the trip. After we returned from our trip, we thought it would be nice to invite Mary over for dinner. I was in a good mood, and I realized it would be better for both of us to be friends. I didn't want to spend my whole life fighting with my mother-in-law after all. When Mary arrived at our home, I welcomed her with some gifts we had brought back from our trip. It was a small gesture to make her feel comfortable. She seemed to warm up to me a bit. As we chatted, I offered to make some tea for her. While I was on my way to the kitchen with the tea, something unexpected happened. My foot got tangled in the carpet, and I accidentally spilled hot tea all over her dress. It was a mess, and Mary's reaction was pretty intense. She almost shouted at me, clearly upset by the accident. Clovia, you've spilled tea all over my dress. Are you even paying attention? Oh, Mary, I'm so sorry. It was just a mistake. Let me help you clean it up. This is getting out of hand, Clovia. I cannot believe you're so careless all the time. You ruin everything. I said I'm sorry, Mary. It will not happen again. You know, Anthony will not put up with this much longer. If you keep causing problems like this, he might just decide to divorce you. Mary, please, don't say things like that. It was just a little spill. I will pay more attention next time, I promise. Promises, promises, Clovia. I need you to be more responsible, or I do not know what will happen to your marriage. Mary, let us try to talk to Anthony together and explain that this was just an accident. I do not want our marriage to be in jeopardy. Oh, so you want to trouble my son for stupid things now? When I proposed the idea of talking to Anthony about the situation, I noticed an immediate change in Mary's expression. She looked worried and anxious, fearing that Anthony might retaliate against her. This was exactly the reaction I had hoped for. I had reached a point where I could not tolerate Mary's behavior any longer, and involving Anthony seemed like the only way to teach her a lesson. However, there was also a nagging fear inside me. What if Anthony took his mother's side and decided to leave me? It was a risk, but I chose to trust in our relationship and believe that he would understand. To execute my plan, I had strategically invited Mary over at a time when Anthony usually returned home. Given Mary's past behavior, I predicted that she would once again make threats, so I ensured that Anthony would overhear our conversation, knowing that it would be the best way to make him aware of what was happening. Anthony walked into the living room just as he had overheard the previous conversation. Mom, what's going on? Why would it be a problem for me? As Anthony entered the room unexpectedly, Mary attempted to downplay the situation. Oh, you're here already. It's nothing serious, dear. Your wife just made a few silly mistakes. So, you were about to threaten her? No, I did not say anything like that. Come on, Mom, let us be honest. I've been ignoring everything since the day I brought Clovia home for the first time. She has been so patient with you, but it seems like you are still the same. I'm sorry, Anthony. I never wanted you to get involved in this, but she always threatened me by saying that you might leave me. Would you do that? Clovia, please don't act like you don't know me. You know I will always be on your side. And Mom, we are a family now. Clovia is my wife, and I will never consider divorcing her for these petty reasons. You should understand that relationships cannot be easily broken. Anthony, I always wanted the best for you. I know, Mom, and I assure you, Clovia is the best. Do not look at her background. She's an amazing girl. Just try to understand her for once. Mary, I do not have any bitterness towards you in my mind. I want to be a good daughter-in-law. After talking to Anthony and hearing his decision, Mary became a little softer. You're right, Anthony. I've been too hard on Clovia. I apologize, both of you. I should be more understanding and supportive. I'm glad you realized it, Mom. It's okay, Mary. Let us have dinner together. I've made your favorite dishes. Sure. Mary smiled at me for real that day. I was very happy that things finally fell into place. We three enjoyed dinner together with a lot of laughter and chit-chat. I hope I never have to hear the word divorce again.